But next, guys, we have Rurouni Kenshin, episode 22, Resurrection of the Wolf. So Kenshin has started being bothered by some dreams or nightmares from his past life, leaving him kind of aloof with the rest of the team, and they start to worry about him. And just as Kenshin is putting these worries behind him, these dreams, and getting them out of his head, Sanosuke is attacked at the dojo by one of Kenshin's old rivals. Really cool episode, in my opinion. So the episode starts with Kenshin having a dream, the Bakumatsu days where he was a manslayer. And he's having this one dream, this reoccurring dream about the Shingensumi group, which are his past arch nemesis. And Kenshin actually ends up telling us like he fought several of these captains one on one multiple times. And he goes on to tell us like they were the strongest, if not one of the strongest samurai groups of the time. And I thought something was pretty funny after this. Kairu said that they were the best when they ganged up on their enemies. So if you're the strongest, why you jumping? Like, Kenshin said like they were trying to keep Tokyo safe, but like, what's your thoughts on that? Because I thought that was kind of whack.
It is kind of whack, but I think Kenshin kind of explained it pretty well. What their logic was, and I think, or at least I thought, at least this is what I took from it. That they didn't care. They didn't care about fairness. Of jumping on like a big group jumping on one person as long as it was in the name of their objective. So even though sure they could get the job done 1v1, but I know I'm gonna get the job done 5v1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I looked at it, and that's what I took out of what Kenshin said. Basically, is that even though that they thought that they could get the job done by themselves, they for sure gonna get it done with numbers. So
Right. Yeah. He was saying that like safety was their number one priority, safety of the city. So it makes sense
yeah,
that they would jump people and like try to, snuff things out before it became an actual problem. But in my mind, I can't like visualize
that's
like
coward shit.
five people of Kenshin's level just like jumping somebody or anybody close to that, just like jumping one person.
I mean, you're
I'm sure that
dead.
shit was effective. I'm
You're
sure that was
dead.
very effective.
Like
Uh,
seconds. You know what I mean? So,
for sure.
uh,
Kenshin also like goes on to like mention like he feels like he's closer with people from the Shinsengumi group than he is with the people from like the revolutionary government because he's fought them so many times. Did you find that weird?
uh, no, not really. The thing about it is though is like there's not many people on Kenshin's level. You know what I mean? And I feel like that he relates to them because they are on his level, and the fact that he's had to go toe to toe with them. And when you having to go toe to toe with them, someone on your level, and it's like a fight to the death, or something along those lines where everything is on the table. I feel like that your true self comes out during those times because you can't afford to hold anything back. And once that happens, you kind of know who a person is. You know what I mean?
Right. I
So
follow that. I
it,
follow that.
it's like a Naruto and stuff, fighting with fighting with actions and not words is when you finally understand someone. If you
True. True.
if you remember them saying Naruto and Sasuke saying that multiple times, so
Yeah. That was. I mean, that was a big thing in
yeah,
Naruto. Saying like that high level shinobi could just understand each other just from punching each other.
yeah.
Um,
Maybe it's the
I,
same way, So
I could definitely see that because like I mean, just growing up playing competitive sports, especially like summer league, where like you're playing the same people all the time, whether it's golf or basketball, you do gain like a huge respect for your competitors.
yeah.
And like, yeah, I was close with a lot of those people, so it makes sense in a way. It makes sense. I don't know if I'd be feeling the same way if we were fighting to the death. So maybe it's more like the Naruto thing.
Yeah, who knows? But But I mean, who was really on Kenshin's level? And then another thing is like, he went on to say like they're both just doing they're both just fighting for what they believe is right, basically.
Right.
So they're kind of the same, but they're not, I guess. So I mean, it would make sense to kind of be get close to them because you're like I said, you're basically doing the same thing. You're very into slash emotional or whatever about your thing, and they are about their thing. So
True. True. Yeah. I can definitely follow it after you explain it that way. Um, yeah, because you have to have some level of respect if you're just going back to back with these guys, and they're like up there with you like that. Yeah, makes sense. Um, so we go from that scene to a scene with Sano, kind of just chilling on the steps of the dojo. A little disappointed that he didn't have any free food to eat, and Kairu wasn't there serving it up. And then a guy, just a random guy selling medicine, came up to the dojo as he was sitting there, and the guy's talking to him about some medicines, like really great cures and whatnot. And Sano kind of looks at him. He's like, dude, your eyes are kind of narrow. And he's like, I'm just born with these eyes. It's just how it's how I'm made. It's how I'm built. And Sano like rushes him and turns his palm upwards so he can see it. He's like, that comes from working with swords. You're playing with a lot of bamboo swords to be a medicine man. And the guy opens his eyes and you can see like the murderous intent in him, and he jumps back. And I thought this was like one of the coolest scenes, if not the coolest scene in the episode. Sano kind of runs up and punches this mystery man. And the mystery man goes, "That's pretty solid, man." Uh, and we know Sano's a fucking brick shithouse, right?
yeah.
And and the guy goes, in today's world, in this time of peace, like you're probably one of the strongest people around, but back in the days of war, the Bakumatsu era, that's normal. So that's not gonna do it, bro. Like you're just a guy to me. And
You're
I thought
just
it was
average.
crazy. Yeah, like you're just a dude, bro. You're fodder. And like he loads back and fires off with his katana and pushes Sano straight through the building. And bro, did you realize they were really boxing like that back in the old days? Like I didn't know Sano was just a dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, well, I didn't really expect that. I mean, I guess they was just a different breed back then. But I mean, we know that Kenshin wasn't really surprised at Sano's, strength either. So I guess we should have expected it, but that's wild.
Yeah. I mean, it took Kenshin aback a little bit because Kenshin was like not really fighting like that. Like he wasn't trying to hurt him.
Yeah.
Where this guy was like, he has no problem like just putting a sword in him just to like send a message. But I think we see this like in a lot in anime. Like, the times before the actual anime starts, like people were like really boxing, like like going hard. Like Naruto, you got like the Hashirama era, the Madara era before that. One Piece, the Rock's crew with like, three different emperors on one crew. Like it's fucking nuts. So like I think it's cool that they do that. But like why do you think they do that? For like narrative purposes?
Well, I mean, I think the same could be said about like real life too. Like you always find people saying, back in my day, type shit. Um,
For
I
sure.
think that's just the way it's looked at. Everybody thinks that they're like if they're older or whatever, they just think that like back in their day it was tougher. It was because they want to believe that.
True.
Um,
True.
but as far as like the anime trying to do that, I think it just there has to be like you know
Like a ceiling, like to
yeah
show how
there
powerful you can get or something.
yeah I mean yeah like you can't have the like current people be the almighty powerful people. You have to have something to shoot for, I guess you can say.
Right, right. Yeah. I think that part's true right there where it's like, yeah, they have to give you something to aspire to. Um And then like, sometimes they bring these people out of the woodwork. Like you have old Big Mom and old Kaido. Naruto, they brought Madara and Hashirama back, and like they were just OG powerful, like straight OP. And
Some of
like
my
it,
favorite parts of like Naruto was the Madara and Hashirama interactions in the Great War. So
yeah, yeah, I'll deal with you later, Madara. Nah, like who really out here with bitch and Madara like that? Yeah, that was a great moment. But yeah, I think it's cool that anime does this, and I think that they have to do it to a certain extent. But I didn't expect it. I thought Sano like scaled to them at least.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, getting back to it, the rest of the gang like kind of returned to the dojo to find Sano on the floor with a broken katana in his chest. It's crazy.
it
Um,
is.
and next we like find our mystery man, uh, Fujita, talking with some shady characters, and about the whereabouts of Kenshin. And we soon learn that the man he's talking to, the man Fujita's talking to, was the Senate secretary, high level government, Meiji government type beat. And Tyler, were you surprised about this? I knew what was going on, but like, how'd you feel in that moment learning that?
Like, if there's one thing you can take from this is that the government is corrupt, no matter where you go or look, or how long ago it was, or how far in the future you go. Government is always corrupt. It's just
Power
how
corrupts,
corrupt are
brother.
they? You
Yeah.
know, and we're seeing some of the sus guys right now. Like they're really far out there. Like they want to try to kill people and stuff like that to get what they want. Um, not obviously not all politicians are like that, but I feel like
Hmm.
if they thought that they could get away with it, they probably would be. So
True, true, true. And it's like crazy. Like, yeah, I mean, it's an actual historical quote. It's like power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It was coined by like a British historian back in the day. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think that's true. Like, you give anybody too much power, no matter how good of a person they are, they're gonna like. It's just a slippery slope. You got
yeah,
power.
for
Um,
sure, 100%.
but Fujita, like he's a crazy son of a bitch. He says he's just happy to be back, on the prowl, killing, and is especially excited because his first job with this guy Shibumi, which is the Senate secretary, is going after Kenshin, his arch nemesis, his dog.
I just wonder, like, was Fujita always this bloodlusted or whatever, and if he was, then why did Kenshin let him walk back in the day?
But so Kenshin is like one of the most powerful, or deemed the most powerful, like samurai back in the day, the Batosai. But as Kenshin said, like he fought these dudes to stalemates, so
Okay.
they were on his level, if not very very close to it, to where he can't just pull up and kill somebody like that. It was mainly just the captains that were that strong. That whole group had a different structure to it. Lower level people he could fuck with, but the higher level, the captains, he had a harder time with. Is probably why he didn't kill them at the time.
Yeah, I mean, what do they do? Like, do they just like keep on fighting and then no one wins and they just leave? Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Like, what happens when there's actually like a stalemate or whatever? Like, do they just say "good game" and just turn around and walk away? Like,
I, I think we saw it in one flashback earlier in this anime. Is like usually they weren't people of this level. They had like more. Um, I'm gonna say like a quicker time to response, right? Like you need to go fight this guy to stop him from doing this to allow us to evacuate or allow us to do something. So like there was like a time that where they would be battling. Once they achieve their objective, it's like I better just slip out of here somehow instead of going to the death with this guy because I'm an officer.
okay, so tactically retreat is what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, in short, that's what I'm saying. Probably more
Okay,
tactical retreats. The rest of the guys have done their objective. Time for me to beat it.
okay. I mean, that makes more sense. I just that those are the kind of questions that come up in some of these in some of these scenes. Is I'm just wondering about that. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Or something gets in the way or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, I know because I've watched the whole thing before, but like since they had talked about this previously, I'm slip that in for you. But Shibumi actually says like, this guy Fujita, like he should be able to do the job because Jinne wasn't able to kill Kenshin. So I'm thinking that he actually sent Jin in the first place. I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah, I don't know if this ever gets confirmed or not, but like there's a lot of assassination plots coming after Kenshin.
I mean, it
Uh,
sounds like it. He throws around that a lot. Um, he threw around Janae's name a lot, so you would assume that he had some kind of play in it, So,
true, true. And like he knew how it ended up, so he's probably the guy that sent the hit. Because Janae or Jen, like he definitely mentioned that like the government was coming after Kenshin in some way, or that the corruption was coming from the top. So going back to the dojo, Kenshin is examining the clues from Sano getting his ass whooped, and then the hole in the wall that it left. And he was like, there's not many people that are strong enough, one, to defeat Sano in Tokyo, and two, that they can put a hole through this dojo wall with with their sword in Sano's body. He talks about things like, the blade was perfectly parallel. This is a certain style that this group uses, and he figures out it was Fujita. And Fujita knows that he planted all these clues for him to find out. And now we're going back to the actual assassination leader, Shibumi, and then they have another guy working with him, Arundo. And Fujita is like, "Hey, Arundo, you want to go attack him first? I know you want this bounty anyway, so let's split it, bro. Let's split it. This new ego that I have, like, this guy, he's a very safe guy, so like he'd rather split the bounty and for sure have it. Were you buying that?
no, I thought there was something else going on with it because this dude, he just wants to kill. He lives for killing. You can
That's a
tell
good
it,
point. Yeah,
and he's not just gonna let some guy take his cookie away. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
he wants to eat the cookie himself. He's not gonna let that happen. So he's got some kind of ulterior motives right now, and we kind of see what's up later on at the end of the episode too. So
True, true. So, Fujita sends a note out to Kenshin and tells him to meet him at a certain location. And our boy Arundo, which I love Arundo's design, by the way, with like the stitches going down the side of
yeah,
his face and then up his forehead. I think he has one of the cooler character designs. It's menacing, but it's like not overdone. And Aruto like starts getting the banging with Kenshin, and Kenshin's like, you know what, you can't win. And so he starts groveling to him. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I won't do it again. I was put up to this." And as Kenshin's walking away, bro pulls out more chains and wraps them around Kitchen's arm, his lower body, and then another chain around his neck. But Kenshin slips his arm in so he doesn't get choked the fuck out. And that's kind of
smart,
where yeah,
smart.
very,
So
very smart. So he did a little sneak attack on our boy Kenshin. And that's kind of like where the episode ends. So what was your thoughts on the episode so far? I thought this was a pretty tricky little battle here.
yeah, like obviously we expected Kenshin to like decimate Arundo. I didn't expect Kenshin. I expected Kenshin to make his way out of that situation very fast after he got sneak attacked,
Mhm.
but he didn't. Um, he actually looks like he's kind of in trouble, which I enjoy. Like I don't enjoy that our boy is like uh looking like he might lose, but I enjoy seeing him face these kind of troubles because it ain't all easy. It's
Right.
He has to work for it. Um, so I enjoyed that.
Excellent. Yeah, we've seen Kenshin get cut and slashed a little bit, but like he's grappled right now. He's getting
He's in
swung
a
around and thrown on the ground and shit. It's very different.
yeah, he's in a bind right now, literally.
Yay. Yeah, and we also took a look at the episode. We see Vegeta spying on Yahiko. So I wonder what's going on there. We'll have to see next week. But
uh, the thing is like with that, what do you think he's actually doing? You know?
I think he's gonna probably kidnap Yahiko. I don't remember exactly, so I'm not intentionally spoiling if this is what
Oh,
actually happens.
you think so?
But I
I
think
think
he's gonna
I think he's got in
kidnap
this.
him.
I would hope that it's like kidnapping because in my mind, you know, if I was someone like him, I would try to hurt him mentally and make him suffer by killing the people that was close to him before I killed him. That's what I would do. But
Yeah, he probably wants to see someone like Kenshin suffer anyway.
yeah,
Because he
but
probably, I mean, Kenshin's probably killed a ton of people that he knows. Like probably
yeah.
a metric fuck ton. Yeah. But
But
yeah.
we'll be interested to see because we got what 2 more episodes before the finale, or
Yes,
just
sir.
1 episode before the finale. So I think this is 24. This is 22. So we got
Yes.
23 and fin the finale. So
That is it, my friend. That is it.
yeah,
So yeah, I've been loving this remake so far. It changed a few things, but it's all been good. It's all been good.